Hi, I apologize for the slight delay. Happy Saturday. I'm Kristina Adam. I offer yoga and energy healing in New York City. I attended Marianne yoga school in January 2018, where I learned everything I need to know and fell in love with teaching really real yoga. I also attended her advanced training this last month in March 2020, and I continue to benefit physically, emotionally, and spiritually from Marianne's teachings and from the magic of yoga. So come to seated on your mat as we start. This will be a really nice, slow, soft, and gentle practice, yoga for anxiety. So if we've all been feeling just a little out of sorts, just feeling the weight of the world on our shoulders, this is a nice practice for you to kind of come down, soften, and just allow yourself to have some space to breathe. I have a couple of cushions here and a blanket, so if you'd like to grab some cushions, blankets, maybe from your couch or from your bed, they're not necessary for this practice, so if you don't have any props, you'll be able to move through this practice just as nicely. But if you'd like to have some for comfort, they can be a nice tool, especially in times of anxiety and worry and fear. With that said, we'll begin on our backs. So coming to lie down, just gently moving anything out of the way, and then allowing yourself to relax down and melt down into the earth. If your lower back is tender, maybe you keep the knees bent, the soles of the feet on the mat, and otherwise extend the legs out long. Wiggle around a little bit and just allow yourself to be comfortable right here. Maybe you roll the head from side to side. And if you're still grabbing props, just come and meet us right here when you're ready. And so we begin by just arriving here, simply letting your body arrive in this lying position, and simply letting yourself settle into this space. So wherever you are, whether you're in between bed and your closet, or you're lying within your living room, whether your kids are running around you, or maybe you have the luxury of having a peaceful and quiet home to practice in. It really doesn't matter where we are, as long as we can find and settle into the space that's directly on our mats. And so just letting everything kind of float and melt away. That has nothing to do with this moment right here. Completely settling into this present moment, and within that feeling, take a nice and deep breath in and through your nose. And sigh it out. And feel your body just becoming a little bit heavier with every exhale. Maybe you can sense and feel the air of the room on your skin. Before we kind of tune into that space, or tune more into that space that we're creating on our mat, just taking in what's around us. Maybe you can hear sounds from outside of your apartment or your house. Maybe you have the window open and you can feel the air flowing in and out. So becoming really aware of your own space. And then we draw and bring that awareness back in and begin to become aware of our own presence in the space that we take up. So can you actively feel yourself lying here on the earth? Or can you feel the earth supporting you? Maybe there's textures underneath your hands and your feet, your legs. Maybe you can sense the texture of your mat. So we're bringing our awareness in now. And we come and settle into the breath, and noticing and observing as the breath flows in and out of the body. And all the areas that the breath inflates And so just taking that in without altering the breath, without changing anything about this moment, just becoming aware of the breath as it moves in and out of your body. Maybe you can begin to feel your heartbeat as we come into this stillness, and we can begin to observe things that we usually don't feel or that we usually don't notice. So feeling your heartbeat now and your breath, your own personal rhythm. Feeling the breath flow in and out of the body, beginning from the tip of the nose. Maybe you can feel the air as it flows in and out. And then feeling the breath like a wave that moves down through the body and back up through the body. And just a couple more cycles of breath, just observing, noticing what's in the body. Maybe you can begin to become present to what's present within you. Become aware of what's here within you today, right in this moment. Pausing and just taking inventory. How's your body doing? Are there any areas that are tight? Any areas of tension? Maybe they stem from sitting on your computer or on your phone all day. Maybe there's some tightness within your chest. It's often where anxiety sits. So becoming aware of what is going on in the body. And then bringing that awareness into our mind, without engaging in any thoughts, and just noticing, is there a lot happening in the mind? And can we begin to create space within? Can we begin to create space right in between those thoughts? And just allow them to float away like clouds in the sky. And then finally, we tune into the heart space, the center of our chest, Anahata chakra. And beginning to feel and observe what is there for you today. Emotionally, we have so much going on at this time. Maybe today is a day that feels light. Maybe today is a day that feels heavy. So taking another peaceful, soft breath here as you feel your belly rising and falling. And then telling your body it's time to move again. We gently begin to invite some energy back into the fingers and into the toes. Maybe you rotate the wrists and the ankles. And rock the head a little from side to side. And then draw one knee into your chest and then the other. Making this comfortable for yourself, so maybe you wiggle around with your tailbone and your hips a little, arranging that perfect comfortable spot in between. Bringing the hands towards your knees, but not pushing the knees towards your chest with the hands, and just letting that strength of pulling the knees in towards the chest come from your abdominals. And then we give ourselves some comfort here. Maybe rocking from side to side, maybe you draw some circles. So choosing what feels good in your body, and this is how we begin this practice. When you're ready here, we begin to choose what feels right for us. Maybe there's just stillness here. If you're drawing circles, go ahead and go in the opposite direction. And just allow this to be a nice massage on your lower back. Opening the arms out wide now, depending on what's around you. Maybe you cactus the arms, so making do with the space. Inhaling as we draw the knees gently in towards the chest, and then we exhale, to drop the knees over onto one side very gently as we open up through the arm, the chest, and the side body. So noticing if this feels good. If anything does not feel good, I invite you to edit, to change. Maybe the knees move a little further down, maybe they move a little further up. And maybe the arms want to find a different position as well. So we tune into what the body needs in this moment. And then we breathe into this opening, into the side, feeling the space in between the ribs, and the space in your chest and your armpit and your entire arm, widening with every inhale. Sensing the sweetness of stillness. Maybe the head comes into the opposite direction of the knees. And so we further begin to just tune in to our own presence. And taking another nice soft breath here. And then on your next inhale, bring the head back to center, and then bring one knee and then the other knee back in towards the chest. We pause here for a moment. And just taking in, maybe noticing any subtle shifts within the body. Inhaling. And on your next exhale, allowing the knees to drop over onto the opposite side now. Immediately sensing whether this side needs a different adjustment. Option to bring the knees further down or bring the knees further up. Option to experiment and explore how it feels to have the arms maybe up above your head. And then again, if it feels comfortable, you can also bring the head into opposition of the knees. Breathing, opening, and creating spaciousness within the side body, and the space in between the ribs. And allowing yourself to melt down a little more with every breath. And so sometimes this can take a while, right? Like if we've been, even though we're at home, we might be busy, we might be running around doing things, cleaning up, working. So just allowing yourself, giving yourself permission now to slow down. And taking another soft breath. And then on your next inhale, I'm bringing one knee and then the other knee back in towards your chest. And again, we bring the arms towards the knees, and then maybe this time drawing the knees in towards the armpits, so separating them. And allowing for a gentle opening of the hips. Maybe it feels good to rock a little from side to side. An option to stay here, or if you'd like, holding on to the outer edges of the feet and then pushing the feet up towards the sky for happy baby pose. Maybe you explore, or maybe you decide that this does not feel good for you today, or maybe this feels really great. So picking whichever variation your body needs this afternoon, this evening, this morning, wherever you are in the world. And then we roll, bring the knees back together and roll over onto one side, using your lower arm as a pillow. And then we hang out here for just a moment. And the top arm comes down towards the mat and the earth. And you close your eyes. And just create some connection here. This is also a very comforting pose. So a few more breaths. And again, inviting in stillness, inviting in a slower pace. And on your next breath in, gently begin to push yourself up into a seat. And then we'll bring the soles of the feet onto the mat, bending at the knees. And bring the hands, the palms behind you. And then allow your chest and your heart space to open up towards the sky, broadening through the collarbones. And then we begin to round forward, and this time we'll bring the hands, the palms down on the mat, right in between the feet, and just round forward. Letting the head drop down. And then gently rolling back up. And this time we'll come into a cross-legged position. Maybe you have a cushion around that you can grab, or a blanket to place underneath your hips. This is especially great to make this pose a little bit more comfortable. And then we arrive and we settle in here. So using the entire surface of your hips as we root down and into the earth. And then we begin to draw some circles with our shoulders. So lifting the shoulders up towards the ears and then rolling them back and down. Maybe invite the breath into this movement. Inhale as you draw the shoulders up. And exhale, releasing them down. Doing a couple of those on your own. Especially if we've been rounding forward, even if we've been reading. We can start to feel that within the body. This tightness in the shoulders. And so we're allowing to open up and to break that up a little bit here. And then we come back into neutral, and from here, allow the head to drop over onto one side. And just a very gentle neck stretch. Throughout this practice, we're looking for softness and ease. Coming back to center. And then bringing the neck and the head over onto the other side. And then we meet back in center. And again, for a moment, closing the eyes and letting yourself arrive here in the seated position. Taking in and noticing how the past couple of minutes of feeling stillness have felt for you in your body. And then begin to walk your hands forward now. Maybe you'd like to come off of what you're sitting on. Maybe you'd like to stay on. So walking the hands forward into coming into what feels comfortable. So maybe you've noticed your stopping point pretty quickly, and so then just settling into that. Maybe the hands are here, maybe the hands are up here. Maybe you can come down and lower onto your forearms. And making sure that both of your hips are still grounded. So if your tailbone is lifted off the earth, if your hips are lifted off the earth, just allow them to ground down. And then letting the head rest. As we breathe into this space. And seeing if you can send the breath all the way into the back of your body, opening up the spine. And then we'll all lift back up onto the hands, and from here opening up towards one side. Doesn't matter which arm, one arm goes up towards the sky. As we invite length from fingertips all the way into the fingertips of the other arm. And then we bring that arm back down, moving slowly, so allowing yourself to move slowly. And we inhale to lift up the other arm towards the sky. Again, lengthening from fingertips all the way down into the fingertips of the hand that is still on the earth. And then we bring that arm down as well. Rising back up, walking the hands back, and then switching out the legs, bringing the other leg in front. And this can feel a little funky, because usually we tend to have one leg in front, and then it doesn't feel very natural to have the other leg up front. So just noticing that and seeing if you can arrange yourself with it. Maybe you place that foot onto the other one. So finding a way for this to work in your body, and then walk the hands forward on this side. Immediately noticing if this side feels any different. Again, we're rooting down through the hips. Maybe this side allows you a little bit more opening, or maybe it doesn't. Feeling the lengthening of the glute, feeling the breath as we send it towards the back, send it towards the spine. And then we come back up, rise back up onto the hands, and then this time, or this side, we also open up the arm, open up one arm towards the sky, finding length. And we release that hand and arm back down, moving on to the other side, still keeping the hips grounded and rooted down. As we explore the movement of opening, releasing that hand down as well, walking the hands back. And then once again, we'll bring the soles of the feet onto the mat, bending the knees, hands behind you, and then we'll windshield wiper the legs. So go ahead and swing the legs over from one side to the other side. Coming back through the center, swing your legs over onto one side now, and come up onto all fours. If you have a blanket and you know that your knees are feeling tender, or that they can feel tender quickly, go ahead and bring that underneath your knees. It can also be a towel. And coming into tabletop with our shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees, and then begin by just lifting up one knee and then the other. Again, we arrive. So can we take the time in this practice today to really arrive in poses? Like, when do we ever do that? When do we ever take the time to arrive in a pose? And as you arrive here now, lift up one arm up towards the sky. And so maybe you're beginning to notice the pattern of this opening, and then we bring that hand back down, lifting up through the other arm. And we continue that motion, moving at your own rhythm, your own pace. We inhale to open and exhale to lower. So honoring your breath, because your breath is your rhythm, it's the rhythm of your body. And so if we begin to move with the breath, we can honor our own bodies. And lifting up one more time to each side. Remembering which side we started with. And then we'll meet back in a neutral tabletop. And from here, lower the belly, rotate the shoulders back, gaze up towards the sky as you take a nice breath in. And exhale as you begin to push the earth away with your hands around the spine and bring the chin towards the chest. Again, inviting you to move with your own breath in your own rhythm, couple of breath cycles of inhales and exhales. Opening up, warming up the spine here. And finding what feels good in your body. So maybe your body is calling you to add on any organic movements. So see if it feels nice to swing the hips over onto one side and then the other. Maybe you invite some hip circles into the movement. Maybe you stay in stillness. So seeing what feels good, what your body is calling for here. And then we honor that and we move with that. One more full cycle of breath. And then bring the knees together. Sit back onto the heels as you lower your torso towards the floor, towards the earth. Bring your forehead down and then allow the arms to come towards the sides and just kind of round over. Immediately noticing if there's anything that you need. Maybe it feels good to place a blanket in between your calves, your legs. Maybe you'd like to have some kind of a cushion to place your forehead on. So noticing what the body could use here and how you could support yourself. Surrendering. Again, we melt, we soften. Taking a few deep breaths. Maybe you actively deepen the breath here, so inhaling in through the nose and exhale through the mouth as you release. Finding stillness and staying within child's pose just for a few more breaths. As our energy is completely turned inward here. Immediately also noticing what the mind is doing. So whether the mind is coming into a place of racing thoughts, maybe you're thinking about what you need to do later, or maybe the anxiety comes back. And so just letting that float away, coming back to the breath. And sensing your forehead on the mat and sensing all the parts of your body that are touching the earth. Come back into the present moment. And on your next inhale, begin to gently peel yourself back up. Coming back into the tabletop position. And then swaying the hips over to one side, and swaying the hips over onto the other side. Oh, realigning yourself, shoulders over wrists and hips over knees, and tuck the toes under and begin to gently lift up the knees. And then as you lift up the knees, motion towards the back of the heels and then bring the hips up towards the sky into a downward facing dog. Experiment with making this downward facing dog a little wider than your usual downward facing dog. So bringing the hands as wide as the mat and bringing the feet as wide as the mat, bending through the knees generously as you melt your chest towards your thighs. Maybe you find some movement here, bending the knees, swaying the hips from side to side. Maybe even movement through the shoulders, the neck, the head. And then we'll take 3 nice deep breaths. So Coming into a position that feels comfortable, maybe you bring the hands and feet closer together now. So anything that feels comfortable in your body, bending at the knees as much as you need to. Feeling like someone is lifting your hips up towards the sky. Deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale through the nose and then sigh it out. Don't be shy. Let something go. And then one more breath in through the nose. And release. And then we'll walk the hands back towards the feet. Bending the knees. Melting your entire upper body over your legs. And allowing yourself to hang. Allowing the head, the neck to relax, arms to relax, shoulders to relax. And maybe you sway a little side to side. If it feels comfortable, you can interlace. Hold on to opposite elbows. Breathing, drawing the navel in towards your spine. I'm going to heel toe the feet as wide as the mat now. And we'll come to sitting down. We'll come to squatting down into a yogi squat. If your heels do not touch the earth, you can either fold up your blanket and see if that helps to lean, lift the heels onto the mat, or maybe you have a blanket and you can use that. Have a cushion, you can also come to sit on it. So we have a lot of options here. And then bringing the elbows towards the knees, palms together to heart center. And then gently opening up the front of the body, lengthening the spine, reaching the crown of the head towards the sky. And taking deep breaths and feeling the breath move from the top of your head, from the top of your body, all the way down into your feet, creating this instant connection with the earth with every breath. Maybe if you feel like you'd like some extra grounding today, bringing the hands and the palms down onto the earth. Connected with hands and feet in this very grounding pose. We keep the heart center lengthening and extending up and forward. And then one more time we'll open. So we take one arm and lift it up towards the sky. Lengthening from the fingertips at the top to the fingertips at the bottom. And we bring that hand back down. And then opening up the other side. Working towards not having the heart space closed off, especially when we're anxious. Instead, we open, we begin to feel space. And bringing that arm back down as well. Recentering. Another nice deep breath here. And if you're sitting on a cushion, bring that to the side and come back to sitting on your mat. Extending both legs forward and just giving them a little shake, giving them a little bit of love. Bending one knee now, bringing the sole of the foot onto the mat. So bringing the knee in towards your chest and then holding onto that knee in whichever form with both arms. And beginning to lift up and lengthen through the spine. So we're using the knee to invite length, to reach the crown of the head up. And then bring the foot over the extended leg And we rotate away from the foot on the outside. So we rotate towards the bent knee. And then we hug that knee in towards the chest. And bring the other arm towards the back of the body. As support for lengthening and for lifting. And checking in if you're forcing anything. So just letting this be a very gentle movement. We don't have to hug this knee in with a lot of force, and just letting it be soft. Inviting soft, inviting ease. Maybe you close the eyes. And then we come back to the breath. Noticing that breathing always feels a little more restricted when we come into twists and rotations. Taking another nice soft breath as we lengthen the spine to lift. And we exhale back to center, bringing the foot back up and over to its side. And again, we hold on to the knee to lift and lengthen. Mindfully placing the leg back down. And then bringing the other knee up, foot on the mat. Holding onto this foot, lifting, lengthening through the spine, reaching the crown of the head up. And placing the foot over the knee, over the extended leg. And we gently begin to rotate from the center, from the core, towards the other side. Gently hugging that knee in with our arm. Bringing the other hand towards the back, using it to lift, support the lengthening of the spine. Maybe you close the eyes and come back to the breath. Noticing if the side feels any different. Checking in if you're tensing or forcing anything, reminding yourself to be soft and gentle. Anytime it feels good, allow yourself to take a deep breath and sigh out through the mouth. It's always good to release some weight. And then on your next exhale, allowing yourself to come back to center, gently rotating out of this pose, extending both legs forward now, and giving them a little bit of shake, and then moving the fleshy part of your butt out of the way so we're fully sitting on the sits bones. Lift the arms up towards the sky, lengthening, stretching, taking up space, and then thinking up and over as we gently bend over the legs. So bending the knees as generously as possible, as much as you need them. Maybe you're right up here, and that's totally fine. So choosing what works for your body. And there's no goal of coming down and being super bendy and super stretchy with the hamstrings right here. The goal is to round and comfort, finding comfort within rounding forward. So allowing the shoulders, the neck, the head to gently release down. Maybe the head touches the knees, especially if they're nice and bent. Releasing, relaxing through the shoulders. Taking those deep grounding breaths. And from here, walk the hands back up. Lift and lengthen one more time. Maybe you scooch the butt down a little bit, and then we'll come to lying back onto our backs. So you can keep the knees bent, soles of the feet on the mat, and then gently round down, C shape with the back. versus plopping down, so moving mindfully. And bring the soles of the feet, so if you haven't already, bring the soles of the feet onto the mat, knees bent, bring the feet just a little bit closer in towards your hips. And then lifting up from the hips towards the sky, and simultaneously at the same time bringing the arms up and overhead. It's our last little movement of this practice. Exhale to drop the hips and the arms back down. And again, following your own pace, allowing the movement to follow your breath. Inhale as you rise, as you lift. And exhale to lower. And so as you're lifting and as you're lowering, notice what's happening with the knees. So are the knees beginning to drift apart? Bring them back in. Maybe you imagine you have something in between the knees, like a little block that you're pushing together, especially when you begin to lift. We're not focusing on lifting the hips as high as possible here. Finding a soft, gentle movement. And then the next time you exhale, bring everything back down onto the mat, onto the earth. Bring the soles of the feet together. Allow the hips, the knees to open to the sides. Bring your hands onto your lower stomach. And sensing this opening. Within this pose, we're very unprotected, we're very open, and so just noticing how that feels, and especially when we've been having anxiety or emotions that weigh heavy on us, it feels a little hard to open up. So notice how this feels in your body and let that be okay. If this feels like a lot, notice, become aware of it, and adjust to what your body needs. We'll just be here for a few breaths before we move into our relaxation. So inviting the openness, inviting the opening of the heart, inviting the opening of your entire chest space, inviting the opening within your hips and your knees, and knowing that in this moment right here, everything is okay. Knowing that within this present moment right now, you have everything that you need. And letting that ground you. Bring the hands to the outside of the legs. Begin to gently close the knees back together like you're closing a book. And extend the legs out long. Bring the arms next to your body, palms up towards the sky. Gently tucking the shoulders under. Maybe you rock the head a little from side to side. And if it feels adequate, cover yourself with a blanket. It's especially comforting and feels especially nice. And so we come back into this position that we started our practice with. If you have tender knees, go ahead, tender lower back, go ahead and bring the soles of the feet onto the mat with knees bent, and see how that allows you to keep the surface, the entire surface of the lower back in towards the mat and towards the earth. And maybe you'd like to bring a bolster, a cushion, a blanket underneath the knees if you have the knees extended. So making sure that you're able to be as comfortable as possible. And again, you allow yourself to sink down deep into the earth. letting the earth carry you, letting the earth hold you. Noticing if you're still holding on to any tension. Feeling the heaviness of your body. Give yourself permission in this moment right here to experience total peace, total stillness. And to accept a lot, and so much of this practice is coming into acceptance, acceptance of this moment, acceptance of what is right here, acceptance of ourselves. And so not being hard on ourselves for how we've been processing this situation. Just acknowledging and accepting that you're doing the best that you can. And this is an open invitation for this moment in yourself to be exactly who you are, without any expectations, without any judgments. And so within this safe space that you've created for yourself, just begin to notice your body breathing. Without altering the breath, feel the breath moving in and out of the body. Feeling all of the body parts, all the areas that the breath moves as it flows in and out. And can you invite a little bit more softness? Can you invite a little bit more stillness? Notice if there are any areas of tension within the body. And allow and give yourself permission to let go completely. Allowing your feet to relax. Feeling them become heavy on the floor. Feeling your ankles become heavy and your calves become heavy. Your knees, your thighs. Feeling your entire leg, both legs, melting down into the earth. Feel them become heavy and warm and soft. Feel the flow of energy all the way from the hips down into your toes as they gently release into the earth. Feel your upper and your lower back release into the mat. Feel your stomach relax and allow the sensation of relaxation to rise up all the way from the tips of your toes now in towards your chest. So feel the breath as it flows into your chest, but allow it also to release and relax that area. Allowing your shoulders to melt down, one shoulder blade and the other shoulder blade, both shoulders. And feel now the extension of the warmness, the softness flow down into your arms as well. And relaxing your wrists, your fingers. And feeling this warm sensation all throughout the body. Feeling your head become heavy. And relaxing the face, especially your jaw and the space in between your eyebrows. Allowing the eyes to drop and relax back into the eye sockets. Inviting total peace and relaxation in this moment. Relaxing the tongue, allowing it to drop down in the mouth to the bottom of the mouth. And then finally we relax the heart space, feeling that space become vast and open. And as we invite the heaviness and stillness into the body, imagine the heart space becoming light and open. Maybe you imagine an actual light illuminating your entire heart space. And with every inhale, that light becomes a little bigger. And with every exhale, allow the light to spread outside of your body. Allow the light to spread into the room, into the space that you're in. Beyond, allow the light to spread throughout your building and into this world. Feel the sense of peace and relaxation grow deeper. Let it fill your entire body in the same way that the light is filling your entire body. Take a few more nice breaths as you imagine this light shining and shining, spreading into the world. Providing not only you and your body with everything that it needs, with everything that you need, but also imagine it spreading, bringing into the world everything that the world needs right now. Extending the light, especially into the dark places. The dark places that we can all find within us, but also the dark places of this world, and to the people, places that need it especially right now. Feel how this light connects all of us. And how we're all in this, all of our lights at the same time. So with this next breath, seal the light into your heart, imagining it lighting up your entire aura, the space around your body, and then sealing that light in there. Not allowing it to dim and just allowing it to continue being there, but imagining like you're sealing it. And then making your way back into this room. Again, we take in the space around us, beginning to sense the air of the room on your skin. Beginning to take in the surrounding noises, sounds. Maybe you just take in the stillness. Beginning to sense yourself taking up space within this room. And then inviting a little bit of movement back into your fingers and toes. Maybe you rock the head a little from side to side. Maybe you extend the arms up and overhead, taking a nice good morning stretch. Maybe a good evening stretch. Deep breath in and then sigh it out. And then in your own time, rolling over onto one side. Coming once more into this comforting fetal position. Take your time getting there. Continuing to take it slow. And enjoying your own presence for just a few more moments. And when you're ready, you can push yourself back up into a seat. Maybe you keep your eyes closed. As we end this practice together, I hope that you can sense the space that we've created within the heart center, within the chest, the light that we've created within the body. So bringing the arms up and overhead now as we take a nice deep breath in, palms touch at the top, and then exhale, hands down to heart center. And then we'll repeat this one more time with an Om if you'd like to join. Inhale, the arms up and overhead, palms to touch. Bowing your head towards your hands. May you take what you found here on the mat throughout the rest of your day and throughout the rest of this weekend. Deep gratitude. Namaste. Thank you. I drew 2 cards before class that I'd like to share as we end. These are from Gabrielle Bernstein's The Universe Has Your Back deck, and this one is The Presence of Love Will Always Cast Out Fear. That is so beautiful, and I hope that you were able to create some space for love, and that also allows within your body the anxiety and the fear to back off just a little bit. And then the other one is Hope is the Conduit for Miracles. So may we continue to find hope, and may we continue to find purpose within this day and within this time, and knowing that that is the hope that we have is what is going to allow us to move through these times. So with that, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you soon.